What's all this? Oh, it's just some stuff we're getting together for the party. Mrs. Davidson gave us permission. And did she give you permission to take these too?
Oh, we got those from the kitchen.
You stole them. You might be able to get around Officer Powell Birdsworth, but you can't get around me. Once Mrs. Davidson hears of this little escapade, you can be sure she'll probably cancel your plans for a party. And you've only got yourselves to blame.
Didn't you hear the bell? It's time for pre-lunch muster. I said it's time for pre-lunch muster. Kathy.
Well, well. It is the Terry Harrison I used to know after all.
What the hell are you doing here?
Is that any way to greet your wife after such a long time?
Sid! What happened?
Oh, just got a bit dizzy, that's all.
You in pain?
No, I'm fine now. Just overdid it a bit, that's all. The garden's so overgrown, just couldn't resist trying to pull out a few weeds.
You just lie there, I'll get help.
No, don't fuss, Mrs. Morris. I'm all right. I don't want to be a bother.
Now, don't be silly. We don't want you ending up in hospital again, do we?
I'll be perfectly all right in a minute. Just give us a hand up, will you?
Are you sure? Oh, Sid! No, no more nonsense. You just lie still. I'll get help.
Imagine you ending up a prison screw. Well, who'd have thought it?
It was a long time ago. Lots of things happen. I'd like to say I'm surprised to see you, but I'm not. If you get mixed up with someone like Ray Ludlow, you're bound to finish up here.
To each his own, as they say.
Look, Kathy, no one must ever know that we were involved.
What difference does it make? It's been a long time since we were married. Too long for anybody to care anymore.
Don't you see it's just going to cause trouble?
Well, since I'm a prisoner and you're a screw, I'm supposed to cause you trouble. Isn't that the way it works?
Kathy, I'm serious. I'm not doing this for me. If word gets out that we were ever connected, you could have a lot of trouble in here. You might even be shanghaied to another prison.
Oh, one prison's probably pretty much the same as the next. I don't care where they send me. Besides, if they did, there wouldn't be a problem anymore, would there?
If it gets out, it wouldn't matter where they sent you. Look, believe me, information like this is only going to catch up with you. Your life wouldn't be worth living.
We've been divorced for 12 years.
Look, just shut up and use your head, will you?
All right. Just relax. I won't say a word.
Well, I warned you both, didn't I? If you hadn't been so stupid, the party would still be on.
Oh, lay off, Bea. Yeah, we're disappointed enough. There's no need for you to rub it in.
And what you do need is a keeper. Letting Vera catch you with all that stuff.
Well, we were only trying to collect enough stuff to give her a real good party.
Oh, she'll have a terrific party now, won't she? Sitting in her cell singing happy birthday to herself.
Yeah, well, we're only trying to make it...
I know. You know, sometimes I wonder why I bother with you two.
Smith, you and Burns get a stretcher from the infirmary and get out of the garden quickly.
Well, what's happened, Mr. Fletcher?
Sid Humphries has collapsed. Now, don't waste time asking questions. Just
Don't
move.
worry, Lizzie. He'll...
How are you, Sid? Look, they'll be here in a minute.
Oh, well, look, I'm right as rain. I told you it was nothing.
Look, you've got to be checked out first. You can't just walk away after this happening to you. Here they come with a stretcher.
Oh, all this
Sid,
fuss.
you're all right.
There's nothing really wrong, Elizabeth. I just had a bit of a funny turn, that's all. Nothing to make all this carry-on necessary.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not getting on that thing.
Yes, you are. And we'll see what Sister has to say after she's had a look at you.
But I don't need that. I'm perfectly capable of walking.
Oh, fair enough. But have a look at Lizzie. She's worried sick. Now, quit thinking about yourself for a minute and get on that bloody stretcher.
Well, I don't feel right having ladies carry me around.
Truth, Doreen, how long has it you been called a lady?
Yeah, I'll carry you for miles if you keep talking to me like that.
Please, Sid, get on it. You made me feel so much better.
Yeah, all right. It'll make you feel better.
Yes, that's the way.
Now, and just lay back there and enjoy it. Not often you get a chance like this. Oh. Right.
He's making light of it, but he was nearly unconscious when I found him.
Well, I wonder if he is strong enough to live on his own. I mean, this could have happened at home and no one would have found him.
Well, everything seems to check out all right. I think you've just been overdoing things a bit, Mr. Humphrey.
You gotta stop doing things. And you should have a nap every hour, or at least put your feet up.
Why don't you leave the advice to Sister Lizzie?
Oh, that's all right. Actually, Lizzie's advice was good. I think you should take things easy for a while. I'm sure that's what your doctor would say.
You see?
Yeah, I'd be well in the tick if you were looking after me.
Sid, I've got a few things to do before I go home. How about I drop you off? Save you that long bus ride.
Oh, that's a good idea. You let Mrs. M take you and she might drop you off at the dock on the way.
Oh, I don't think that's necessary, but I will accept the lift home, thank you.
It's no trouble at all. I'll ring Sister Franklin when I'm due to leave.
In the meantime, you take things easy. Well, come on, Lizzie. We've got to let Sid rest.
Mrs. Davidson, have you got a minute?
Yes, of course.
It's about Sid.
Lizzie, you are not to worry. You heard what Sister Franklin said.
Yeah, I know, but I'm worrying about him living on his own. I reckon he should have somebody to take care of him. So why can't I?
You? Oh, but Lizzie.
Yeah, why can't I get an early parole? I reckon I'd make a real good job of looking after him.
Well, it's a lovely idea, Lizzie, but it's not as easy as that.
You're not even eligible for parole.
Yeah, I know, but couldn't you put a good word in for me, Mrs. M?
Oh, well, I'll do what I can, Lizzie, but I don't think they'll consider it so soon.
Yeah, I know, but things have changed, and now I've got a good reason. Couldn't you plead extended circumstances or something like that? What do you reckon, Mrs. Davidson?
Well, I honestly don't know, Lizzie. I'd be quite willing to add my recommendation, but I don't know what good it would do.
We'd have to put in a special application, and you know what the board's like.
Yeah. Well, couldn't you at least try?
Yes, Lizzie, I'll do what I can.
Oh, beauty.
Now, don't you get up your hopes. I know you think it's a good idea, and I'll do what I can. But I don't think you've got much of a chance. Now, I better go and finish my work, or Sid will never be getting home.
Now, you just lie there quietly and rest until Mrs. Morris gets back.
Ah, Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm glad you came back. Be nice to have a chat without all those people around.
Yeah. You sure you're all right?
I'm fine. Really? Well, you mustn't worry about me, Elizabeth. My old folder collapsed.
What do you mean?
Oh, silly old fool. I should have gone and stayed with my son instead of going home trying to do too much.
Don't talk rubbish. I reckon it was a good idea coming back to your own house. It's just what you needed.
Oh, I've got to face up to it, Elizabeth, because if I don't, I'm going to be a burden on everybody.
All you gotta do is use some common sense and not try to do too much. That's all.
Well, all I tried to do was pull out a couple of weeds. If I can't go with my gun, it all seems pointless.
Oh, don't talk like that. All you gotta do is know your limitations. Take some care of yourself and you'll be as fit as a mallee bull in next to no time.
You really think so?
Of course I do.
You know, you almost talked me into it. You're a wonderful woman, Elizabeth.
You're not a bad old stick yourself.
No, I've never been inside before. Why?
Well, no reason. Just thought you might have met Harrison on the outside. I've been told he spent a lot of time in your cell.
Oh, he was just filling me in on prison routine.
That is nice of him, but watch him.
Yeah, if you want to find out how this place is run, why don't you ask us? Because we run it.
Well, what do you mean, watch him?
Well, he has been known to make a few deals with some of the other girls. So don't let him talk you into any arrangements. It could be dicey.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, I could help you if you like. You know, I could show you how things work around here.
Oh, that'd be beaut.
Yeah, well, the first thing you got to learn is how to handle the screws. Take that one over there, for instance. I mean, she sees herself as everybody's friend, the real do-gooder type.
You're joking.
Oh, no, fair dinks. And one thing is that she likes to be called by her first name. She gets real offended if you don't call her Vera.
What's all the chat about? You're not here to socialise, you know.
Sorry, Vera.
Who do you think you are, Hall? I'm Miss Bennett to you, and don't you forget it. If you're planning on making trouble while you're inside, I'll be only too pleased to take a personal interest in you. Now get back to work.
What the hell did you call her Vera?
I just had a bit of advice from a friend here about how to handle the screws.
And what are you up to, Doreen?
Okay. It was a pretty good joke, and I fell for it. Not exactly sweetness and light, is she?
No, Bennett's a real pig. And you know what's really weird? She's on with Terry Harrison, and I think he's real cute.
Oh, well, no accounting for taste.
Oh, you're telling me.
You've spoken to my parents. Well, why bring them into this?
Mrs. Morris, was that really necessary?
Yes, I think it was, Judy. Now, you look at it logically. They have to find out sooner or later. Now that they've found out, they can be of some help.
Well, how?
Neither of you seem to realize just how serious this is. You think you have a perfectly reasonable excuse for your actions, right?
Oh, I wanted to be with my mother.
Oh, getting up in court and telling them that just isn't enough. You'll need all the supportive evidence you can get.
But I still don't see what the foster parents can do. They weren't even supposed to know about it.
There are things they could testify to.
Well, like what? I don't understand, Mrs. Morris.
Oh, well, I think I do. They're going to say it's all my fault that I was a bad influence, isn't that it?
They can't do that.
Hang on, darling. Let's hear Mrs. Morris out.
They're saying that there is nothing in your past life that could lead to this. There's nothing criminal about your environment or your friends until you met your real mother.
Did you include all that in your report?
Well, of course, Laurie, I had to.
Well, then take it out. I'm not going to have my mother's name used like that.
Well, it's not going to make any difference to my reputation, not in here. Laurie, the important thing is that you stay out of jail. I couldn't live with myself if that happened.
It's a choice between jail or no jail as far as you're concerned.
Well, then
You
I'll
leave your report as it is, Mrs. Morris. And we'd like to thank you for all of your help.
Dobbs, Mrs. O'Regan wants you in the kitchen, so off you go. Ladies?
Hey, Mr. Harrison. Have you met the new girl? Kathy, say hello to Mr. Harrison.
Yes, we've met. Now, come on, get on with it.
All right, that's good enough for me. What's going on?
What do you mean?
Oh, come on, I'm not stupid. What have you got on Harrison?
Nothing.
Don't play me for a mug. I saw what just happened then. Now, unless you want me to be particularly unpleasant, you better tell me what it's all about.
All right, I suppose I better tell you. We used to be married.
You're kidding.
Well, I'll be buggered. We learn something new every day.
Look, he's not a bad bloke.
Oh, don't worry. We're more likely to use this little gem against Miss Bennett. Hey, you're not still keen on him, are you?
Oh, no.
We can't take any chance on laggers, you know.
No, we split up years ago. Besides, in prison, it's us and them, right?
Oh, you do learn fast. Just remember that and you'll be all right.
Listen, you got nothing to worry about. I've been married again since then. My old man's in Pentridge.
Is he the one who split you and Harrison up?
Oh, no, that was another bloke, Ray Ludlow. I shacked up with him for a while. And then when he got arrested, I got together with a mate of his, Andy, and that's the one I married.
Oh, what a sheltered life you've led.
Got to be nice to people, don't you?
Yeah. Okay, girl, that's enough slave labour for one day.
Oh, come on, Bea. It was just getting interesting. Now tell me a bit more about it. Come on.
Right, why? Didn't you believe me?
Suiting you.
I told you I'm no lagger, so what's the point of that?
Well, don't ask me. I didn't write it.
Let's see. Oh, God, B wouldn't do nothing like that.
I don't understand. Why should I keep getting these notes telling me to keep my mouth shut? I don't know anything.
Well, we'll have to find out who is writing them.
Do you think you could?
Leave it to us.
Or should I tell the Screws?
Oh, they're not going to help you.
Well, they should protect us. It's part of their job.
Oh, boy, have you got a lot to learn. Look, if someone is out to get you, the Screw's going to be the last to hear about it.
Yeah, you leave it to B. She can take care of anything. She'll look after you real good.
My public.
Can you take care of that?
No, and I'm not even going to try.
Oh, I don't suppose you can knit, can you, love?
Well, honey, from now on, the important thing for you to remember is to stay out of places like this, huh?
Yeah, I know. Look what we got you.
Oh, good on you, Lizzie.
Have a minute.
To do all that. Look at it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too easy with Vera on our tail, but we're real sorry we messed up your party, Laurie.
Oh, that's all right, Doreen. I know you meant well.
Oh, never mind, love. You just hide this, and you and your mum can celebrate after the Screws have been around.
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Sure. Here. Hey, wait, here she comes.
Oh.
All right, you two, get back to your cell.
Oh, we just came to say a happy birthday, Miss Bennett.
I don't care what you were doing. Get moving.
Oh.
If I were you, I'd stop thinking about birthdays and go over what you're going to say in court tomorrow. Be ready first thing.
Oh, Miss Bennett, could you deliver a message for me, please?
I'm not your delivery boy, Hall. What do you want?
Or could you tell Terry Harrison that I want to see him? It's important.
It's Mr. Harrison. And anything you want to say to him, you can tell me.
Well, I'm being threatened.
Funny how so many new prisoners seem to say that.
But it's true. I've had these notes left in my cell.
Show them to me.
Well, I haven't got them anymore. Oh, please, Miss Bennett. Look, you don't have to believe me. Just tell him that I want to see him.
Take your hand off that door, I'll put you in solitary.
Miss Bennett, please. He'll help me. I know he will.
And what makes you think that he's going to go out of his way for you?
Because he was my husband, that's why.
I just had a talk with Kathy Hall.
And?
Is it true?
If I thought it was important, I would have told you. It happened a long time ago. But don't look at me like that. I'm not an axe murderer. Is she still claiming that I deserted her when she was having a child?
There was a child?
Oh, boy. Look, sit down, love. I'll tell you the whole sad story.
Yes, I think you'd better.
Well, it's not uncommon. You see, we were very young when we got married. And right from the start, she was cheating on me, although it took me a while to find out. You see, I was very naive. Well, she got pregnant. Although the child wasn't mine, I was willing to stick by her. I loved her. Well, soon after that, she got drunk. There was an accident. She miscarried. We divorced. That's it.
You should have told me about such an important part of your life.
Well, it was a long time ago. It doesn't matter.
It does. Can't you see the dangers? She's a prisoner. You're an officer.
So, she doesn't mean anything to me.
I believe you. But will anybody else?
Vera, nobody must find out about this. Look, if word gets out, she'll be transferred. Surely you see that.
Wouldn't that be better?
It wouldn't matter where she went. If they find out that she's been married to a screw, her life wouldn't be worth living. Look, if she stays here, I can keep an eye on her.
Yes. She said she's receiving threatening letters. In fact, she's asked to see you.
All the more reason to keep her here. I can see nothing happens to her. Look, Vera, you've got to promise me. You mustn't say a word about this. Vera, please.
Thanks for all that stuff last night, Lizzie. We had a lovely party.
Good on you, love.
Good luck, Laurie.
Thanks, Doreen.
She won't need it. She'll be right. You just wait and see.
Take care of yourself, love.
I will be.
And whatever happens, don't forget your old mum stuck in here, eh?
I won't, I promise.
All right, ladies, break it up. It's time to go, young.
I'll be thinking of you every minute, honey.
Whatever happens, it was worth it.
Come on.
Think she has a chance?
Of course she has. The best. Quit worrying, will you?
Oh, she told you.
Well, of course she told me. What's this about threatening notes? Is it true?
Of course it's true. You think I'd make it up?
What would they say?
Well, whoever's writing them is warning me to keep my mouth shut. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I just got here. I don't know anything to keep my mouth shut about.
All right. Obviously, we've got to find out who's doing it.
Yeah, B. Smith said she'd try and find out for me.
Well, if anybody can, she can. Unless, of course, she's the one sending the notes.
That's what I thought. But we've been getting on fine. She'd have no reason. Besides, she seems the sort of person that would make her threats face to face.
Yeah, that'd be right. Look, I wouldn't worry too much about it if I were you.
Well, you're not me, are you?
It's probably somebody who just gets their kicks out of frightening new inmates, that's all.
Do you think so? Who'd be that stupid?
In here? You've got to be kidding.
What's up with you, Jude? You look a million miles away.
Oh, I'm just as far away as that damn court is.
Well, mooning around about it isn't going to make things happen any quicker, you know. They'll let us know something as soon as there's something to know.
I know, but I can't help but worry. Well, let me be a mother for once in my life, will you?
Well, you can stop worrying.
You mean it's okay?
She's just been let off on a 200. Oh, isn't it terrific? I didn't know she was so popular.
Oh, she's a nice kid. This one's for Judy. Have a look at her. Mother Bryant.
Well, I see you've already heard the good news.
Yeah, Mrs. Morris just told us. I'm so pleased.
Congratulations, kid. Looks like the law did the right thing for a change.
Yeah, didn't think we'd see you back in here, though.
Well, she's just going to collect her things.
There you are, love. I told you it'd be all right.
Oh, I wouldn't have been, though, if it hadn't been for Mrs. Morris. Oh, she was terrific, Mum. You should have heard her.
Thanks, Mrs. Morris. Looks like I owe you. Well, can we have a word or two alone, Mrs. Davidson? I'd like to say goodbye.
I think that would be all right.
Okay, ladies, pack it in. Hey, listen, don't disturb those two outside. Okay?
Now, you look after yourself, you hear? I know, Laura, that I'm not very good with the motherly advice. I've left it go too long, but you be careful, huh?
I will, Mum.
Well, you're pretty lucky, weren't you?
Yeah, I know. Still, I had a lot of help. Hadn't been for Mrs. Morris and Mrs. Davidson, I'd probably be a permanent guest.
Well, you made a lot of friends here, huh? Still, you're a likable brat.
I must take after my mother.
It's time to go, Lorraine.
Goodbye, darling. Come on now. I hate goodbyes. Huh?
It's not goodbye. I'll be back to visit you. And I'll write.
Okay. Don't forget, huh? Oh.
I hope I haven't called at an inconvenient time. I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Oh, I'm right as rain. I'm terribly sorry about all that trouble I caused you all yesterday.
Nonsense, Sid. No trouble at all. We were just concerned about you.
Oh, do, please. Sit down. Could I offer you a cup of tea? It's freshly brewed.
Oh, yes, I'd love one. Thank you. Just black. How are you managing here on your own?
Oh, all right, then. As long as I take things slowly.
Yes, but there's a lot to do in a house. Wouldn't you be better off with someone to help you?
Sounds like Elizabeth's been talking to you. Yeah, she's a wonderful woman, Mrs. Davidson, but she does worry about me a bit too much. Yeah, I must admit, though, it does take me a bit of time to get some things done.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about.
How would you feel about having a permanent housekeeper?
You mean someone to live in? Well, very nice of you to concern yourself about me, but I don't think my budget would stretch to that.
Well, what if they did it for room and board?
Oh, I don't think many people work for that sort anymore.
I was thinking of Lizzie.
Elizabeth? But how could
Well, actually, it was her idea. Mrs. Morris is applying for special parole. Now, if she could show them that Lizzie has somewhere to live and employment, it might weigh in her favour.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Do you think there's much of a chance?
Well, I don't know, really. It's unusual.
Oh, well, there's nothing I'd like better. I mean, we really enjoy each other's company, and I'm sure she'd look after me very well, but...
But what? Is something wrong?
Oh, no, not at all. That's just something I'd have to talk over with Elizabeth first.
Gin.
Not again.
Okay, what is it? You've got a face like a well-smacked bum. Well, you can talk in front of Judy. All right, have it your own way. So what is it, another note?
No, not yet. I thought you were going to look into it for me.
Well, I'm doing my best.
And?
Nothing. Look, we'll find out who it is one way or another.
Well, can't you just ask? I mean, everybody around here seems to do pretty much what you say.
Well, use your head, Will. You don't think they can run out and admit it, do you?
No, I suppose not.
Look, I have asked around, and as far as I know, only 2 people had the opportunity to put anything in your cell.
Well, it must be one of them.
Look, hang on, I said as far as I know.
Yeah, well, who are they?
Well, one of them's Mouse. Now, she's been here for a while, mind you. She can be a bit funny sometimes, but the other one's a newcomer, Walford. Dinah Walford?
That rings a bell. Walford. Oh, yeah, we came in at the same time. But that doesn't make any sense. I've never laid eyes on the girl before.
So, we're back to square one.
Well, Terry doesn't seem to think I'm in any danger. He reckons whoever it is just gets their kicks out of frightening people.
Well, let's hope he's right. Frightening people doesn't seem to be Mouse's thing, mind you. Might be worthwhile having a bit of a chat to her later on.
Yes.
Can I come in, Mrs. Davidson?
Of course, Lizzie. But why aren't you with an officer?
Oh, well, there wasn't one. Anyhow, I'm here now, and I was just wondering if I could have another day out.
You're still worried about Sid, are you?
Not so much worried. I just think it'd make him feel better, you know. Cheer him up if he was to see me.
Well, it's not usual to be allowed so many days out. All right. Only because it's Sid. And I think you're right. It probably would do him good.
Beauty. I've just finished his cardigan. I can't wait to see his face.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had someone with you. Hello, Lizzie.
G'day, Mrs. M. I'm glad to see you. I was wondering, could you drive me over to Sid's place tomorrow?
Oh, I thought that was Mrs. Powell's job.
Oh, yeah, but she's such a ratbag driver. She makes me a nervous wreck.
Well, if you can afford the time, I've no objections.
All right, then, Lizzie, I'll take you.
Bonzo. Well, I'll just leave you to carry on. I must hurry away. I want to see if Doreen's finished Sid's socks. Thank you, Mrs. Davidson. Thank you, Mrs. M.
How's the parole coming along?
Well, it's up before the board tomorrow. I just hope it's accepted.
I don't think Sid would object either.
G'day.
Elizabeth, Mrs. Morris, how lovely to see you. Please come in.
Hello, Sid. Looking very pleased with yourself?
Oh, with 2 lovely ladies calling? Of course I am.
Well, the place is looking real good, Sid.
Well, I did what you said, Elizabeth. I took things slowly. Managed to get quite a lot done with the odd rest in between.
There you are. I said you could.
Well, it is looking very nice, and I'd like to see the rest, but I've got a meeting to attend to. I'll pick you up later on this afternoon, Lizzie.
Thanks, Mrs.
Don't
M.
worry. I'll see myself out.
I'll see you later.
Hey, want to give a mate a cuppa?
Yeah, sure, come on in.
Here, my jug's busted.
Oh, don't worry, they'll replace it in about a month.
Oh, terrific.
I take it the broken jug is not the reason for the miserable face. What is it?
That's nothing, really.
Oh, come on, out with it.
You'll probably just think I'm being clucky and overprotective.
It's about Laurie, I thought so.
Yeah, it's silly, isn't it?
Well, look, she's out of here now. She's gone back to what seems like a pretty good life, so what are you worried about?
Oh, I don't know, Bea. It's just Queensland. It seems so far away. I don't know how she's going to feel when she gets home.
Well, you two seemed pretty close when she was in here, so why should going home change anything?
Well, I'm worried about the talk. See, our foster parents, they're blaming me for everything, and I just don't know what they're going to say.
Well, Laurie is a pretty bright kid. She'll listen to them. But I bet you it won't make a scrap of difference.
Well, if she has any doubts, I won't be there to defend myself, will I?
Now, come on, Jude. This is Laurie, your daughter, remember? The one who didn't even bat an eye when you told her that you were gay. The one who got herself put in here just so she could get to know you.
She's a terrific kid.
Right.
I miss her, Bea.
Yeah, I know. Of course you do.
You know something, though? I'm proud of her, too.
Well, so you should be. Got any idea what she intends to do now?
Well, like a lot of people, she didn't have a clue what she was going to do when she got out of uni, but being in here has helped her to decide.
She's going to rob a bank.
Now she's going to take an extra course or two and get herself involved in some kind of social work.
What with ex-cons?
Possibly. She was really impressed with Meg Morris and how she was able to help. It's made her realize that, well, there are people in prisons worth helping. Good people.
Well, she obviously wasn't in here long enough to get to know us properly. Joke, Judy. Yeah, it wasn't the easiest way in the world to earn a living, but it can be rewarding sometimes, I suppose.
Yeah. Come on, what about that cuppa?
Oh, sorry, I forgot. Damn thing hasn't boiled. Well, so much for the coffee. Mine's in the blink too. Must be a power failure or something.
Isn't it time you two are in the laundry?
Hey, Mr. Harrison, my jug's not working and nor is Judy's. Can you check to see if a fuse is out or something?
Yeah, all right, I'll check it out. Come on, you two, get going before you get into trouble.
Yeah, okay.
You know, if Laurie wanted to go into something really lucrative, she should be an electrician.
Yeah, that's the current thing to do, eh?
Yeah, I think the old place is starting to shape up again. I have to tackle the garden next. Oh, that's a real mess.
Okay, but don't go overdoing it.
All right, all right. Now, you come and sit down. I'll fix us up a cup of tea.
Oh, that can wait. I want to see how you're doing. And when the time comes, I'll make us a cuppa.
You're spoiling me. You know that?
Nonsense. I just don't want you overdoing it. I wish you weren't here on your own.
Oh, really? Who do you think should come in then?
I reckon I'd do a real good job looking after you. Mrs. M's trying to get me some early parole.
Yeah, I know. Mrs. Davidson told me. I think it's a fine idea.
Oh, I forgot. This is for you.
Oh, Elizabeth. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, you went to so much trouble, too.
That wasn't any trouble. I like making it. And I got nothing else to do. Oh, it looks real nice, Sid.
Nice, it's perfect. Yeah, nobody's done anything like that for me in a long time.
Oh, I like making things. I'll make you something else if you like.
Elizabeth, I think your idea of keeping house for me is very good.
Yeah, when
But I have an even better idea. Instead of keeping house for me, why don't you share it with me? Elizabeth, would you do me the honour of becoming my wife?
You mean you want to marry me?
If you'll have me. I realise this is quite a surprise.
God, you can say that again. Fancy me getting a proposal at my age.
You're a very special woman, Elizabeth. I'm just lucky you're still single.
My mind's in a muddle. I can't think.
Oh, I don't expect you to answer me now. No, you just take your time and think about it.
God, It's just like a story, isn't it? The man popping the question and the girl saying she's got to have time to think it over. It's something I got plenty of. Time.
Well, you just let me know when you've made up your mind. And in the meantime, I've got a lot to show you in the garden. So, shall we?
Yeah.
Meg Morris.
Oh, Mr. Muirhead, come on in.
Well, I came to see how that application for Lizzie went. You saw the parole board today, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I saw them. For what it's worth.
Oh, I take it they turned you down.
Well, what do you think? Ah, they can't see past their precious regulations.
Well, after all, she wasn't due for parole yet, was she?
Oh, not you, too. I've just about had it. I mean, she's an old woman, and these are rather special circumstances.
All right. Don't bite my head off. I didn't turn down the application.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be taking it out on you. Oh, it's just so frustrating.
Well, quite frankly, I didn't think you stood much of a chance.
I suppose I didn't either. But I did think they might show some compassion. But oh, no. They kept talking about her record and saying how a notorious escapade didn't warrant any special consideration.
Look, they have only facts to go on. They've got to do things according to the book. It's the only way the system can be run.
Well, I don't agree with you. However, I'm not about to argue the point. My main concern is Lizzie. She'll be so disappointed.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder whether this job is worth doing at all.
Something wrong?
Yeah, something wrong with the power. Brighton Smith told me about it. Their jugs weren't working.
They both wouldn't work. Well, that sounds
Yeah.
like a fuse.
Well, that's what I thought. I just put another one in and it blew. Must be a short circuit somewhere on this floor.
Or for some reason they don't want the power to work. One of the women probably jammed something into a power point. A bobby pin would do it. They're up to something.
You know, why does it always have to be deliberate? Why can't it have just been an electrical fault?
Well, it's a possibility. But these things have happened before, and I know these women better than you do.
Well, I'll check all the power points. If I can't find anything, I'll have to get the electrician in.
Well, if the complaints came from Bryant and Smith, I'd start with them first.
It's the nicest day I've had for a long time.
For me, too.
Now, I want you to think it over very carefully. But, you take your time.
I will. It's a big decision for me to make, Sid.
Goodbye, Mrs. Morrison. Thank you for bringing Elizabeth.
Bye, Sid. You look after yourself.
I will. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah. I'll talk to Davo and ask him when I can come back.
Well, I hope you'll have some good news for me then.
I'm sorry, people. I really do have to get back.
Yes, of course. Have a safe trip.
Bye.
Sorry to barge in, but I thought you'd better see this right away.
You sound upset. What is it?
I'd call it attempted murder.
Murder? You'd better explain.
This, it's lethal. See that? If Kathy Hall had tried to boil that jug, she would have been dead by now.
But who would...
I don't know. B. Smith's trying to find who sent the threatening notes, but so far, no luck.
Notes? I think you'd better start at the beginning.
Kathy Hall's been getting threatening notes, and now this.
Well, don't you think I should have been informed about the notes?
Yeah, I suppose so, but Vera said that...
Yes, what did Miss Bennett say?
Well, she said that's not too unusual. Prisoners often get threats, but there's usually nothing to it.
That's true. It does happen from time to time, but that is no reason for me not to be told. After all, I am responsible for the safety of the women.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want to bother you with a common occurrence, but this is serious. If I hadn't have found it, I mean, it was just luck that I did.
Well, it's certainly more serious than some threatening notes. You'd better bring Hall here right away.
Right.
Why? I don't understand.
That's what we're trying to find out. There must be a reason.
Well, I don't know. I swear. I'm scared.
Kathy, nothing's going to happen to you. We'll see to that.
How? How can you do that?
Now that we know, we can keep a closer watch on you.
Yeah, what good would that do? You can't watch me all the time. I know that whoever it is can get to me. You know that too, don't you? Don't you?
See?
Hall, we will find out who is doing this, but you must not panic. That won't help anyone. Now, are you sure there is nothing you can tell us?
Oh, look, I didn't even know any of these women before I came in here. Well, I wouldn't even know where to start asking questions. One of the women's trying to find out for me. Maybe that'll do some good.
Yes, Smith. I suggest you stay close to her, and I will talk to all the women.
Do you think that'll do any good?
Well, if the person in question knows that the officers are aware of it and that you are being protected, it just might stop them.
Oh, g'day. How'd it go?
You're not here to catch up on gossip, Smith. It's bad enough that some people get special treatment and leave us short of workers. Now get to work, Birdsworth. Get those ready for the press and give them to Smith.
Did you have a good time, Lizzie?
Yeah. Anything wrong? Lizzie?
Sid's okay, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not saying much. Listen, sometimes people need a bit of privacy. So leave me alone for a bit, will you?
Ladies, could I have your attention, please? I want to speak to you about Kathy Hall. Threatening notes being sent to a fellow prisoner are bad enough, but it has gone further than that, and I will not stand for it. Who can tell me anything about this?
Yeah, it's a jug and you boil water in it.
This is no joking matter, Burns. This jug was wired so that anyone trying to use it would be killed.
Well, look, I've been trying to find out who's been leaving those notes in Kathy's cell, but I knew nothing about this. I don't think any of us did, do you?
No, we didn't.
If any of you have any information at all about this, I expect you to come to me. Agreed?
Agreed.
Thank you. In the meantime, we will be keeping a very close watch on Hall. Very well, ladies. Carry on.
Coffee? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
Great. They said they'd keep an eye on me and people just walk in here any old time.
Oh, don't you worry. I was watched as I came in. I thought a cuppa might go down well, so I bought my own jug and the rest of my gear.
Thanks. But they've given me a new one and it hasn't been out of my sight. Listen, why don't I make you a cup? It's nearly boiling.
Oh, tough. Hey, you know, you shouldn't go wandering off on your own. It's dangerous.
I know. I just don't understand what's happening or why.
Yeah. Well, isn't the first time this sort of thing's happened in here? There was another girl not so long ago called Morris. She had death threats too.
Had?
Oh, don't worry. She's still in the land of the living. But it turned out she was involved in a pretty heavy drug scene on the outside.
Oh, listen, Bea. I mean, I've never been involved in anything heavy, drugs or anything else. Don't you think I'd tell you now if I had?
Not necessarily. Not if you were scared enough.
I'm scared, all right, but not for that reason. Listen, I'm no angel. But I've never been involved in anything heavy, I swear.
Okay, I believe you.
Doreen's pretty keen on practical jokes, you know.
No. Doreen's okay. I can vouch for her. The notes may be, but as soon as...
Well, what'd you do that for?
I don't think he would have liked that cup of coffee. It wouldn't have been sweet enough. You see, ground glass doesn't dissolve.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.